again, obviously what Harrison said, when it's put in the right context and you understand, isn't crazy, but it's just so nice to see important people, especially important people that are attached to the guy that is attached to the so-called problem, come out and say, what he said isn't ridiculous. We know who Harrison Butker is. You guys are the ones that are trying to make this sound crazy. It's just so nice to hear that after you have these other people that are so scared to death to actually take a stand or take a stance because it's quote unquote unpopular.
Well, yeah, I said my piece yesterday on the substance of what Harrison Butker said. This was about a half hour before Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid came out. And obviously, just me personally, I do think there is an attack on a traditional way of life right now, which I think is fairly problematic. And I say that as someone who doesn't necessarily agree with everything Harrison Butker touched on. I say that as someone who's not Catholic or ever even participated in the traditional Latin Mass that he was advocating for. But this past week has been a masterclass in the way to handle responses and the way to handle PR from this Chiefs organization, especially when there's something that goes this viral. I mean, this was the biggest story in sports for the last week. And the daughter of the Kansas City Chiefs owner and the wife of the Kansas City Chiefs owner both came out in the last week. I thought they gave fantastic answers, and I enjoyed hearing their perspective, to be honest, as women on this topic. But now, the biggest names in the sport, Andy Reid and quarterback Patrick Mahomes, back-to-back Super Bowl champions, come out and they defend their guy. This is the type of winning culture that it takes to hoist the Lombardi Trophy, and I'm not surprised from guys like this. And actually, I'm proud of them for coming out and defending their guy.
Well, Blaine, knowing your guys have your back, and listen, that's not even saying that you have to agree with everything that somebody says. Dissent is good. Dissent is not the problem. Not agreeing is not the problem. It's the fact that we live in sports media is awful about this, media in general. But we live in a world now where it's, you have people say, well, I disagree with what you're saying. This makes you a terrible person. But hey, you have to agree with everything that I'm saying. It's unbelievably hypocritical.
Yeah, and I thought Patrick Mahomes did a great job of coming out and saying, I judge Harrison Butker off who he is every day in facility, at practice. And Patrick came out and said how good of a guy he is. And I do think when it comes to the Chiefs culture, I mean, you can bring this up. You can bring the Rashee Rice thing up right now and the way the Chiefs are handling that, which I think the way they're handling that is phenomenal. But it's not about what guys come out, but who are the guys, right? You have Patrick Mahomes, the leader of the team, quarterback, the it factor, Mr. Guy, Mr. Football, the guy who takes you to the promised land. Not only him, but your head coach, one of the best to ever do it, in Andy Reid. There are some guys who I'm not surprised didn't show up. All right, one of them is Travis Kelce. Between the Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift has already came out and demonized Harrison Butker. And the problem is this. Oh, yeah, with a tweet. And the problem is this. Is most of the people probably haven't even listened to the speech.
No.
They probably haven't even listened to it. They see whoever they're polarized in their life, whatever famous person or whatever media they get it from, they saw it, they got put in a certain light, and now they believe it. And that's the problem we have in this society. They don't see it for themselves. Harrison Butker was at a Catholic school doing it, but you have your head coach, your star quarterback come out. And even the owners of the Chiefs came out, like you mentioned, and said, we have Harrison's back. And even if we don't think he's right? Dissent, exactly what Jake said, will be the death of us if we just sit in an echo chamber for the rest of our lives.
Well, yeah, and again, to me, it's not even an echo chamber. It's hypocrisy. It's, hey, democracy. We democracy's under threat, right, by this group of people. So what do? Let's go after him. Let's go after him politically and use the law against him. It's saying don't do this while you do it. It's rules for thee, but not for me. It's people saying, oh yeah, free speech. We should have free speech. This is great. Oh, but you're saying something that goes against what I believe? That's not free speech. That's hate speech. You wouldn't be able to say that. I wish we could get to a point, because again, dissent is good. Dissent moves us forward. I don't want people to agree with everything that I say. I don't want us to agree on everything. For example, if I say, you know what, I think Auburn's going 9-3 this year, and you say, you know what, no, Jake, I think Auburn's going 7-5, or whatever. At the end of the day, I'm not going to be like, David hates me because he disagrees with me. And it's good that we disagree. We can all still love college football. But we will never move forward. In totality as a country, we will be stuck in this tribal, for lack of a better term, bullshit stage that we're in, where nobody can move forward because everybody hates everybody so much that you don't even listen. The Harrison Butker speech, didn't even listen to it. If you listen to that whole speech and you think that he's saying women shouldn't be able to work, then you're either just a stupid person Or you're so biased and so tribal in what you believe, you won't let your brain allow you to hear what he's actually saying.
So let me ask you both this then, because obviously a lot of comparisons are being drawn to Colin Kaepernick voicing his opinion. And, I do think that I've never been a part of this, shut up and dribble crowd.
No,
I think Laura Ingraham made a mistake when she said that about LeBron James. If that were the case, the three of us as former athletes wouldn't be given a platform to voice.
Yeah, that was a dumb.
Yeah, to voice our opinion here. But I will never criticize someone for not stepping up and offering an opinion on something. I'm really happy that Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes both came out and did this, but I wouldn't have criticized them if they didn't. It's the old Michael Jordan story, right? Michael Jordan was getting pulled in a lot of different directions to get involved in a primary race in North Carolina, or not primary, but a Senate race in North Carolina. And he said, that's not my expertise, and the whole Republicans buy sneakers too ended up being the headline of that. But I'm not getting involved in that. I'm a basketball player, and I'm not worried about that. And a lot of people criticize Michael Jordan. I won't criticize someone for not getting involved. But if you do decide to give your opinion on a matter, the way Harrison Butker did in this scenario or the way that Colin Kaepernick did, then that opens the door for all of us to give our opinion on their opinion.
Yes, and again, just because I don't care who you voted for. I really don't. I honestly really don't. When it comes to the political stuff, that's why, again, we're at the Daily Wire, but we really don't touch it outside of crazy stuff like the men and women's sports. I value other people's opinion. I will listen to your opinion even if it goes against everything that I believe and try and hear what you're saying and understand. I think that's why, and that's why I feel like everybody should have to go to, if they get a chance, go see Omaha Beach or go to Normandy and hear the story of like all these people in the past that have taken bullets and bombs and grenades and taken, who knows if, I don't know if reincarnation is real or that's real. You only may get one shot at life. And people sacrifice maybe that one shot they had at being on this earth so we could actually say what we think and not be afraid to say what we think. And we live in a world today with the men and women sports stuff, and it's so political and it's so tribal that people are afraid to say what they think, which is the exact opposite of what all these people fought for. That's what fascism is. That's what dictators want. That's what they do over in Russia and China, where they censor what you say. You have to be afraid to say what you really believe, because if you say it, don't get the vaccine. Oh, you don't get the vaccine, you can't work anymore, or stuff like that. We've had too many people die and too many people fight and too many people lay down their lives to be able, for us to be able to say what we actually think and be like, you know what, David, you may say this and I may disagree with it, but I respect your right to say it and I'll listen to what you have to say. And at the end of the day, we can shake hands and disagree. Dissent moves us forward. Maybe we can find a common ground, but we find no common ground in today's world. And that's the saddest part.
Did the Chiefs three-peat?
I hope so now.
The Chiefs three-peat?
Wouldn't surprise me.
They're not going to be
worse. Last year's roster, if they won it.
Yeah, they're not going to be worse. But I want to play this clip. Let's start with Andy Reid, because this is fantastic stuff. All right, saying what you actually believe, and you can tell he believes it. And he says it in only the way that Andy Reid can say it. Let's play this clip.
With so many women just on staff here and in the building, his comments kind of touched on women in the workforce. What do you tell them if they come to you with a concern about players speaking ill of, women in general?
Yeah, that hasn't happened. I don't think he was speaking ill to women, but he has his opinions, and we all respect that. I let you guys in this room, and you have a lot of opinions that I don't like.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
I love this man.
It's so good. It's so good because it's so true. I let all y'all in here to ask me questions, and y'all got opinions that I don't like. But no, Andy Reid, that was a perfect answer, because they're trying to get you.
Yeah.
They're trying to get you. Which, look, we know how the media is nowadays, so it's one of the reasons we started the show. But let's play Patrick Mahomes' rebuttal to it as well. Get him, P.
I know Harrison. I've known him for 7 years, and I judge him by the character that he shows every single day, and that's a good person. That's someone who cares about the people around him, cares about his family, and wants to make a good impact in society. When you're in the locker room, there's a lot of people from a lot of different areas of life, and they have a lot of different views on everything, and we're not always going to agree, but and there's certain things that he said that I don't necessarily agree with, but I understand the person that he is, and he's trying to do whatever he can to lead people in the right direction, and that might not be the same values as I have, but at the same time, I'm going to judge him by the character that he shows every single day. That's a great person, and we'll continue to move along and try to help build each other up to make ourselves better every single day. But at the end of the day, we're going to come together as a team, and I think that'll help out as well as eliminating those distractions outside the building as well.
Just
Damn, that sounds like a Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, it sounds like that's what leaders sound like. And again, he even said, it's what you said, do I agree with everything that Harrison Butker said in his speech? No. But do you know if somebody talks that long, the odds of me agreeing with everything that we do a show, we know each other very well. We're like brothers. Hell, me and Blaine actually are by blood brothers. But we do a show for an hour and a half every day. We never always typically agree on the same thing. That doesn't mean we hate each other. That doesn't mean that we're afraid to say it. It's just it's almost sad that this is refreshing. That it's like, oh, he said what he really thinks.
Yeah.
Man, in America, that's really refreshing. But that's what we've done. We've pigeonholed, and it's everybody's fault.
Yeah,
it's everybody's fault.
We're all accountable.
We're all accountable for it, which means we all have to be.
We're doing our part. I mean, all you can do is put your opinions.
I'm doing my part.
Yeah.
Put your opinions out in the public square.
It's a Starship Troopers situation. What's up, YouTube? Hey, do us a favor. We appreciate all the subscriptions. If you haven't subscribed to the show yet, please do. Keep sharing the channel as we barrel toward football season. Y'all know what's about to happen.